They can take our freedom, but they'll never take our Wololo. All right, so legit, if they ever do a Wololo event in the Scottish Highlands, that should be the intro for the trailer. Welcome back, folks. Well, one and all, we're here for game number 3. I was about to say Wololo again. Beastie with the Deli, B with the French. And you know what? That matchup sounds crazy fun, but crazy confusing when you realize that Deli just got picked on Frisian Marshes. Not really the place that they are most notorious for, especially when you have maps like Coastal Cliffs, Dry Arabia, etc. in rotation. Let's see how Beastie wants to try and approach this. A map that is organically very defensive due to the corner spawning. In theory, you can get more sheep than your opponents because you don't have to bring your scouts home. Beastie kind of went wild here, though. Double scout, and that's sick from B. Unfortunately, there's only one sheep back here. The intent was really cool. Wait, what? Wait, B? B? What are we doing? What are we doing right now? Okay, he's going the right... That was a bit chaotic for a second there. And what is up, Aaron Paul? Appreciate the 1,000 bits, mate. Legend. Thank you, thank you. All right, so... B did miss out on a golden opportunity to get 1 extra sheep. Yeah, it wasn't like the big spawn, like, 4 that you sometimes see here. Or 5. Overall, it's going to be 18... sheep to 26. Love this from B, by the way. He's probably thinking pro scouts. He doesn't want to let Beastie get these shoved in for free and then essentially remove 1 deer stack. And look at the spawn, actually. It's pretty good for pro scouts. You've got 1 deer over here, another one over here, and then the wider spread. So it should be very difficult for Beastie to just block you out of that. And good eyes, first he sips. So Beastie moved his Goldfields to try and snipe. I mean, it's awkward either way, right? But, like, he almost ran back into TC range to die. The reason why B thought he could get away with all that, by the way, is because Deli start out on the berries. They don't start out on the sheep. So it was a smart read, just a smart counteraction by Beastie as well. Skull Cavalry now coming in. Dome of Faith a little bit slower for Beastie. To be expected when you sacrifice a villager to build a second scout, and also French just get more villagers over time. Should be seeing an immediate first knight here. Yeah, there he is on the way. With the gold gathering as it stands, it's looking like we could be trending towards pro scouts next. In fact, he's almost got what he needs with this wood gathering. Has Beastie want to react to this? I mean, he has to know it's pro scouts, right? Like, it's kind of suspicious the way your opponent lamed the deer here. You could just argue done this because you don't want to give your opponent a free shove in, right? But this is also why Deli have looked a bit weaker, especially in the French matchup at the moment. It's like with what's been happening recently, we've been seeing quite rough experiences for Deli because of the rush pro scouts and the fact you can't rush it yourself. You have to somehow block your opponent, but when it's premium French cav, it feels very difficult to do. Do clean recordings of different Wololos and let us play them with channel points between games. I mean, you could recommend that on the Discord. This is exactly what the Discord is designed for. These discussions beyond the broadcast, because I'm not going to remember that by the time we're finished casting this series, and then also the Vortex versus either Starflock and Wham series afterwards. Cool idea, though. The problem with those ideas, I do find, though, is like, I've said this before, but it's the same reason why we don't have sub noises when we're in-game. It's probably pushing it a little bit. Right, like we keep the notifications up, which some people might find intrusive, but I think it's reasonable. But like loud noises would probably make it a bit weird. Ghazi opening. Spear more reasonable. The problem with spears here is there's just too much deer to block. Ghazi may have a better opportunity to intercept. He's going deep. B already snatching the first back. Also, on top of that, keep in mind, like, the organic play here for B is knights into archers. So Beastie is kind of insulating himself against the next step while having a pseudo solution to the first. Because Ghazi not only can deny the scouts, they not only will counter the archers, but they do offset most of the melee armor that French knights get. And because you've gone Dome of Faith, you should be scaling scholars anyway, so you'll gradually be able to heal them up. Dive comes in, first blood drawn. Nice start for B. Won't be able to get a second, mind you. Remember, the lance charge is what makes it feasible. We do have the Rat's reaction. Okay, and I believe he actually went deep enough to see that. So he could just get an immediate pivot. Instead, classic Pro Scouts opener. We see this all the time. When French play Pro Scouts, because they want to keep scaling knights while potentially adding in more scouts, because they will extra food because of the deer, it's much more valuable to just keep blobbing knights to keep the advantage. Meanwhile, BC, his own pro scouts, minute and 30 away. That's what makes this start rough. Having 5 of the 7 deer taken from right front of your base means you're basically looking at a 3-1 deer split here. And you can say, yeah, but French paid for it. Sure, guys, they paid for it. But they paid like 250 resources. And compared to you, they got an extra 3,500 resources off the map. Sorry, not 2,450 resources off the map. Bargain. How did you guys vote again on this one? 68% for Beastie. Delhi got that much of the vote on Frisian. Alright, I'm just gonna be blunt. I think that might be a bit of player bias coming into the picture. I know, I think French look pretty good here. I say, you know, you go back before Pro Scouts meta, I felt like this matchup was close to 50-50. It felt skill-based. Map dependent, yes. But you can see either winning. But now with the Pro Scouts, it just gives French a very clear line to, like, flirt feudal into castle. If you rush castle and try to go elephants, they can rush castle and go arbitrary as well. It's tricky, man. Momentum bias too. Dude, Beastie just lost the game in just over 10 minutes. Nani? Sorry, was that a little bit too soon? It was a Japanese loss. Archer's now coming in from B. Should have a very clean time for Blacksmith to catch up here as well. Undermesh is on the way for Beastie. It's a minute and 30 out. So in like the next 20, 30 seconds, you know, he should be up to like, what, 5 or 6 archers? Blacksmith can make a lot of sense. So we'd also give him the Bloom Roof for free. In the meantime, in the center though, we've got a melee mosh pit. Knight's trying to pull away here. He's slowly winning it out. Unfortunately, as few of the injured Knights are hanging around too long. The Spearman will clear the way. The Scholars get denied. That is a resounding win for B in the fight. Gets rid of both the scouts. Gets rid of, like, what, 1 or 2 Ghazi. Spearman as well. Double Scholar. That's insane worth for B. Now, Chivalry just feels all too delectable to resist. In fact, he already got it. Yeah, Baby's about to get kissed a lot better. He's going to have to start kissing control of this game away. Wait, did he get Chivalry? Oh, no, he didn't. I'm looking in the wrong spot, like an idiot. Okay, so yeah, no Chivalry yet. He's gathering a bit more wood now. Like, it's kind of on the verge of being just an inherent worth play. Love that little detail. You see what I done there, guys? He shuffled the injured Knights to the back of the formation. Make sure the Ghazi can't thump you on the retreat and then just get 1 kill. He really is trying to just stretch this, right? Min-maxing before he goes into Chivalry tech. It's a little bit dangerous because it takes so long to get. But this is brutal, man. B is taking these deer as well. These deer, it's a good thing he did get more sheep off the map because he didn't need every single one of them. 16 sheep remaining. A B with plenty of deer to play with. Look at this. Like ships in the night. Remember, Beastie, his scouts, the ones that he rebuilt now, are going for the deer. They're not actually helping the army, so he's riding blind here. And that does allow B to sneak in. Mostly unnoticed, but... Is he going for the gold? He's looking for the gold. 3 villagers out here. No reaction yet. Beastie, he doesn't have textiles either. Charges around. Does get 1. He could even dive deeper. Beastie in paranoia has to pull away the tree line. And now the counter-offensive is in. Ghazi are going to dive, but I'm surprised they actually got that 1 kill. They're not meant to be as impactful here. Knights are still lingering around. There's only a handful of spears, so he does go in for the minuscule charge. Perfectly done. There was no brace there. Love that. It's such a sick little micro detail. If you wait until you're very close and then A-click just beyond your opponent, you can force a charge. And it means that they don't get the brace out in time. So immediately mops up the spears. Able to back away. The spearmen are now coming home. So great game sense by B to back away at this moment. He knows that he's done damage that Beastie has to be reacting. Meanwhile, in response, he's kept him even. It's a 2-2 kill count so far in this game. Man, props to him. Beastie, yes, he's taking a little bit of damage, but he's making sure he gives as well as he receives. Does need to be careful, though. B, he's now looking to intercept onto the Ghazi. If he can clear the Ghazi, he clears the way to blob archers now. I wouldn't even be surprised if B is considering castle at the stage. She's up to 16 knights. By the time you're about 20, it feels just like an inherent play. Chivalry is also now ticking in. So what does Beastie see as like his winning play here? He knows what the food split is looking like. He does at least get Sacred Sites. That's going to pocket him a little bit of gold. But like realistically, he knows he's lost the deer game by an extensive margin. And he didn't win the sheep game by enough to offset that problem. So it means he's going to be forced to come out of the base sooner. And the tricky part now is like Beastie, I don't think he can afford Ghazi as a result of that. It has to be Archer Spearman. Yeah, you see him double down now. I like the way that B has played this though. Like, you know, the knights are always scurrying around, barely dying, and then the archer mass is just building, building, building. So he's already kind of a step ahead of what Beastie's next intent is. That's gonna get chased. That's got the second wave though. Beastie just... I don't know, like, I would agree getting the series, it's fair to say, like, oh yeah, Beastie should be favored here, right? But after that reaction in Game 2, and now this opening in Game 3, B is looking on incredible form this week. Because, you know, we also often talk about, you know, BC not dropping a game so far. Well, neither had B. Playing MV4 in low graphics is fun. Wouldn't know that problem. Full power AMD, meaning full set of ultra graphics. Sacred Site's trying to be capped again. It just feels impossible here. Beastie really feels like he's got his back up against the wall. The nice thing is, like, you do have a defensive map behind you to easily camp the corner. The nasty part is, like, what does camping the corner really get you here? B continues to inflate on the knight count, and now he's inflating on the economy. He's getting ready for a Royal Institute play by the looks of it. Would feel a bit dangerous against, like, mass spears in a corner. Guildhall definitely a lot safer. But like we said, you know, BC either has to start adding in farm soon or move out the base. He's down to 3 sheep left. Archers now go for the dive in. Does pull the spearman very far back here. A little bit of an overextension from B. I think he's jumping the gun here, right? Like, he's rushing in, but the reality check is Beastie needs him to rush in. If you just stay outside the base, remember, French have a village elite building. Your opponent doesn't have Sacred Sites. There's a lot of positives here. Also, think about the castle transition. Whose army is more valuable to upgrade? Has to be the knights. This feels like he's maybe getting a little bit too angsty. Actually, just trying to trade out. I love the scholar pull here. Beastie, he's starting to turn this game around with a little fight like this, but B, he goes in for the A-click. He hasn't got many archers, though. But the knight count is ridiculous. He's starting to flood round. Scholar's stuck frontlining. Spear count is holding firm, though, and B, has he just thrown away the lead with that dive? I mean, knight count still looks good, yes, but the archer's heavily removed. Beastie now saving up for Castle Age. I can't believe this. B seemingly feeling the pressure of go time getting to him. Jumps in an unideal fashion. I think he wasn't really expecting BC to turn and fight in this little area, but it's so good for it, right? It's an angled building that you're approaching from, and then you've got the choke point with the mill in the house. Not many knights can get in there. The problem here, and you saw him tug down those archers, is once the archers are removed, BC just has a solid, easy hold. Sure, you're going to lose a lot of spearmen in the process, but the knights can never overwhelm you. And now the tech up on the way. DC will be first to trigger it. B is looking to follow suit here. He will still have an insane amount of knights. I had to start wondering from this type of position, do you really still go for a guild hall, or do you just Royal Institute into this? Royal Institute definitely makes a lot of sense, but it's going to be guild hall. He doesn't want to have to run the risk of diving this base again. No, so he's going to play the long con. But the cool thing about doing that is with this many knights, you should be able to guard the relics quite easily. Very important against BC, who's up to 13 scholars. You know what he's going to be looking to do here with an immediate tech up. In fact, the first learner boy is already on the way. He's already circling to prevent that. The food carrying is still so uncomfortable for Beastie. He doesn't even have room for farms here, folks. Veterancies have been queued up. The Scholar's actually going a lot deeper. Yeah, and the Scout's moving across, so we'll be able to see that. Remember, Beast still has 3 Scouts. All deer have been picked up off the map. Tech up now complete. Veterancies queued. Beastie needs to try and survive into a crossbow timing here, but reminder, the food is about to run out. He has got another berry option here, but this is pretty far at the base. And remember, the thing that's been saving him so far has been these choke points. So unless you want to build a bunch of Raxes up to this point, you're not going to keep that advantage. So despite these attempts to get a little bit overzealous, he's still very much in the driving seat right now. I love this from Beastie. If he's going to get out, it's going to have to be off the back of a castle drop. So keep drop onto some extension resources, such as the fish, would change the outcome of the game quite a bit. He's still a long way away from that play yet. It's still a play you'd have to make blindly out into the wide battlefield. Knight is going to find the Scholar coming home, so it looks like the Relic Retrieval is going to get denied. He yet to actually go for the Monk play himself. Where do you drop this keep? I'm starting to think Beastie's going to have to drop it in his own base. Just to try and stop what's happening here. The Tome of Faith gets blitzkrieg down. So no more cheap Scholars. Slows his tech capabilities as well. He's only got 1 mosque here. So we'd need to consider a second one if he wants to prioritize some of these unlocks. Like the blacksmith techs, for example. Arbitrary switch already from B. Yeah, usually people think you should just stick knights all the time, but I think this is a very interesting situation where arbitrary makes 100% sense. You're playing on a defensive map. Massing more knights isn't actually as valuable as you think. Arbitrary can end the game more easily from this type of position. Especially when you're fighting these type of choke points where ranged units tend to be better. And in fact, it's going to be perfectly timed because Beastie now has the first of the War Elephants on the way. This is suffocating right now for Beastie. But the keep should be upon us. In fact, wait, no. He's short. He's short 12 stone. It's still not... He's short 5 stone, come on. It's just teasing you right now. He actually doesn't have what he needs for a keep drop. War Elephant has come out. It should give him the space he needs to touch the stone one more time. Meanwhile, B moving out the center, so he's going for the fat 8k vein. Really ballsy, but makes sense with what Beastie's doing. He's not playing any cavalry other than elephant cavalry. And, you know, guys, these aren't exactly fast-moving units. You know, in Age of Empires 4, we think it's inhumane to put elephants on roller skates. Therefore, they move at their own pace. And there's the keep drop. Yeah, so secures a little bit of food. It's not even actually securing the second stone outcropping, so there's no additional keep drop that can easily happen here. Just gonna have to fight out of range of the thing to secure that. Still surprised by no monastery play by B. There we go. Double monastery. So yeah, he had that kind of idle time of heading out to the 8k vein, so we should be seeing those boys pump soon. Remember as well, this was a Guildhall game. So time not on Beastie's side for what comes next. Nice on the back. Nice raid. Village Fortresses has been queued up, but we're 3.5 minutes out from that. In fact, if I'm not... Okay, it is in range. There we go. I was a little bit worried for a second there. But yeah, he has got the influence range for Scholars. It's just the problem right now is 5 of his Scholars aren't actually researching things. No Faith is back up, so he has got additionals being pumped. Let's see what Hannibal can do. I don't know, man. There's not enough mountains here for him to pass through. Is this really Hannibal? Or is this merely the lion tamer at the circus? Yeah, this guy's going to die straight away. He's been marked for death. It's 23 arbitrary already. There are lakes, though? Geez, she murdered one entire Roman army near a lakeside, and it's all people remember. Oh my god, B's going sprinkles. The irony is that, you know, from BC's position, it would be nice if he could go Springhorn. Springhorn's War Elephants is kind of goated, actually, no cap. It's slow, but it's unkillable. The problem is it's terrible against Mass Knights. Drift Kings are operational. We have got the increased Speedy Boys. Sadly, the Relic pickup to slow them down quite a bit, though. Nice game for the charge in. Looks like he will make it home with the 2 just before the Monk showed up. What a timing there. So BC does get some relics off the map. But the other 3 surely should be going to be. I cannot believe that. Like, come on. I feel like these scholars, when they run, should make like childish vroom vroom noises. Like, they move as quick as warrior monks would. Hello, hello, Marine Lord. Is it time for you to sign up for midweek musters, mate? I hear this is where champions come to hone their skills. I'd hate to brag, but actually, no, I like to brag. 3 of the 4 top players in the last S-tier tournament are playing in this. Ooh. What is up, Egglove? Thank you very much for the Prime sub. Remember, guys, got this Prime sub. Smash them. Use them. Make sure if you've got an Amazon Prime subscription, you're dropping your Twitch Prime sub in here each month. Supports the channel, and make sure that you're giving more money to something you care about, or assume you care about me more than you care about Bezos and making him an omni-billionaire. I think that's a term. Keep dropping them coming through. And what is up? There we go. A surprisingly decent name, I agree. As well as Shareman. Thank you very much for the Prime subs. Look at that, you guys started a sub train with Prime subs. So it's a Prime sub? Wait, Prime train? Choo choo. Let's add a few more carriages to it. So 5 Springles now. I mean, the Springles are going to kind of be cool for dealing with the Scholars as well, right? Because there's so many layers to the cake here. It's not just the front lines, the range form, and then the back. And what is up? Rata Manjaro, thank you much for the Prime sub. You know, another thought about this. Macabre, smart lad with a Prime sub. When you subscribe like this, in a game that is definitely going up on the YouTube side, you basically immortalize yourself in the history of our channel. These people are smart. Okay, B, I think it's time to get big. 2,000 food ready to be pulled. And he just done it. Is he going to do it in his face, though? That's the question. No, he's going to play it safe. Red Palace over here. It's not going to be like game 1, where we get overly aggressive our keeps and maybe make a game last longer than it needs to. Meanwhile, the keeps of beasties are being aggroed onto. He does lose the villagers on the pocketed fish. Trebs are starting to deal with this. Is the grand final today? No, grand finals are always on Thursday. So the semi-finals after this set, i.e. Numidan versus Bestial B, will be on Thursday. We are going to have the Vortex versus Starflock or Wham semi-finals today. You never seen someone pick Delhi on this map? I swear I've seen Beastie do it a few times. Sometimes it works, but sometimes it really just does feel weird. Such a defensive map, and Delhi historically such an aggressive civ. But I guess maybe the line he was taking is, you know, Imperial Age, Delhi OP, get all these techs free. On a map like this is so defensive, I should be able to do it more easily. B has made it anything but easy. Tech up now complete. Arbitrary upgrades coming through. Crossbow stirrups as well as the elite tech on the way. And the elite for the knights. Beastie, he's massing mangoes. Interesting idea. I mean, right now, like, the knights struggle to get in against the war elephants, so it's not the worst of ideas. You have to be a little bit switched on if you just misstep at all. Arbitrary will just gut the war elephants, and then the knights can ride in. But you're seeing what Beastie's doing here, right? We talked about the lack of food. He's trying to offset that issue by going siege intentionally. I wonder if B just waits for biology here. Actually, Incendiary might be even more worth it. The only counter to the Knights right now is the War Elephants. There's only 8 spears. So if you get Incendiary, you kill these guys immediately. You can even think about sniping the mangoes. Speaking of said mangoes. I'm gonna try to jump in. So difficult though. He's baiting him in range. Look at the red palace! Snipes him straight away. And now the surround. B, he's coming around the back. And Beastie doesn't see it. Mangoes, they get 2 salvos off. And then a salute as they go under. A beautiful surround. B manipulating the vision. And does the damage necessary to go up and on match point on the verge of defeating Beastie in the quarterfinals. Didn't see that one coming. Neither did Beast.